Into the Mystic with your host, Morgan Dragonmoon.
Hello, my dark children and dark family. How are you all doing on this spooky evening? I am your host, Morgan Dragonmoon, and I am talking from the veil between both worlds. So, we have an interesting program for you this evening. First, I'll be talking about the astrological forecast. Then I will be talking about the history of the Ouija board, or as most of you call it, the Ouija board. And then I will be talking about a few things, kind of rants and raves, but not really rants and raves, you know what I mean? And then I will be talking about Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, how I felt about the movie, my small review on it, and how I feel overall in general with Disney and Star Wars. But I'm going to leave that last because there is some strong feelings I have about it, and they're not bad, but it's just I'm not going to talk about it right now until the very end. So I am going to talk about now the astrological forecast as of right now. So as of right now, the current planetary positions are as follows. The Sun is 22 degrees 15 Capricorn. The Moon is 21 degrees 48 Leo. Mercury is 23 degrees 45 Capricorn. Venus is 29 degrees 5 Aquarius. Mars is 6 degrees 29 Sagittarius. Jupiter is 9 degrees 25 Capricorn. Saturn is 22:48 Capricorn. Uranus is 2 degrees 39 Taurus. Neptune is 16 degrees 31 Pisces. And Pluto is 22 degrees 47 Capricorn. Oh, sorry, that was my phone that went off. The node is 7 degrees 36 Cancer, retrograde. Lilith is 28 degrees 23 Pisces. And Chiron is 1 degrees 51 Aries. Sorry about that, folks. I'm going to be shutting off notifications on my phone here in just a sec. Alright, sorry about that. Just a friend of mine's messaging me, letting me know about some updates to my profile and stuff. So anyways, that is it for the astrological report. Now we'll get into the part you've all been waiting for. We are going to be talking about the Ouija board. Just give me a second to pop up some information on it. Alright. The Ouija, also known as a spirit board or talking board, is a flat board marked with letters of the alphabet, numbers 0 through 9, the words yes, no, hello occasionally, and goodbye, along with various symbols and graphics. It uses a heart-shaped piece of wood or plastic called the planchette. Participants place their fingers on the planchette and move about the board to spell out words. Ouija was formerly a trademark belonging to the Parker Brothers and has been subsequently became a trademark of Hasbro in the United States, but is often used generically to refer to any talking board, kind of like how Kleenex is generically used to describe tissue paper or facial tissue. You get what I'm saying, right? So, the precursors of the Ouija board. Well, the first instances of divination would be automatic writing method used in the Ouija board. It's founded in China around 1100 AD. In historical documents of the Song Dynasty, the method was known as Fuji, planchette writing. The use of a planchette writing as an ostensible means of necromancy and communication with the spirit world. So basically, this, in a sense, you were using a planchette, you had a pencil or writing utensil attached to it, and you would move the planchette to get the messages via automatic writing. There's other ways to do automatic writing besides that. You just allow yourself to allow spirits to come through and or whatever, and you start to write without even thinking about it. So anyways, as part of the spiritualist movement, mediums began to employ various means of communication with the dead. Following the American Civil War in the United States, mediums did significant business in presumably allowing survivors to contact their lost relatives. The Ouija itself was created and named in Baltimore, Maryland in 1890. But the use of talking boards was so common by 1886 that news reported the phenomenon taking over the spiritualist camps in Ohio. You're wondering, who invented this? Who invented the Ouija? You're probably wondering. Businessman Elijah Bond had the idea to patent a planchette sold with a board on which the alphabet was written, much like previous existing talking boards. The patentees filed it on May 28, 1890 for patent protection, and thus are credited with the invention of the Ouija board. The issue date on the patent was February 10th, 1891. They received U.S. patent 446,054. Bond was an attorney and was the inventor of other objects in addition to this device. Someone might be trying to message me? Interesting. Might be the spirits trying to message me. Anyways. Where was I? Oh, yes. An employee of Elijah Bond, William Flood. I think it's Flood? Flood, yes. Took over the talking board production. In 1901, Flood started the production of his own boards under the name of Ouija. Charles Kennard, the founder of the Kennard Novelty Company, which manufactured Flood's talking boards and where Flood had worked as a varnisher, claimed he learned the name Ouija from the board, and that it was an ancient Egyptian word meaning good luck. When Flood took over the production of the boards, he popularized the more widely accepted etymology that the name came from the combination of the French and German word for yes. The Flood name became synonymous with the Ouija board, as Flood reinvented history, claiming that he himself had invented it. The strange talk about the boards from Flood's competitors flooded the market, and all these boards enjoyed a heyday in the 1920s. But there is more to that story, which Wikipedia is not showing. In order to know more, you have to go to the Talking Board Historical Society. Really cool people. I've never met them before, but they have really awesome mission. And they're out of Pinehurst, Massachusetts. I'm planning on moving to Massachusetts in a long time, but not for a while yet. Helen Peters Noseworthy is supposedly the one credited for the name for the Ouija board. Peters Noseworthy is the woman responsible for giving the Ouija its mysterious name. Her identity was rediscovered by the Talking Board Historical Society founder Robert Murch in a series of letters printed in the Baltimore Sun, where the founders of Ouija took their grievances with each other public. Letters from Charles Kennard, the man who claimed to invent the Ouija board, and his friend and business partner Elijah Bond, the man who patented it, stated that a woman by the name of Miss Peters, Bond's sister-in-law, who was also known as a strong medium, asked the then unnamed board what it would like to be called. The board then spelled out O-U-I-J-A. And when they asked what the term meant, it responded, "Good luck." I'm guessing good luck as in good luck at figuring out what it means, or it means good luck. Nobody really knows for sure. Helen, who was also an early stockholder in this company, later accompanied Bond to the patent office to help secure a patent. According to the family lore, verified by the patent file history, the patent office declined to award a patent to the Talking Board unless the founders could adequately demonstrate its believed miraculous powers. Helen and Elijah then traveled to Washington, D.C., where they were denied by multiple patent inspectors until the chief patent officer took an interest in this device. As the story goes, he assured the pair that if the device could spell out his name, unknown to Bond and Peters, he would award them a patent. The board apparently did exactly that, and the rest, you can say, is now history. The years after the Ouija's 1890 introduction, Helen married her husband Ernest Noseworthy, a Shakespearean actor and an artist who later became a traveling salesman. Together they moved to Denver, where they lived out the remaining of their years. His lifelike drawing of Helen, drawn at the Hotel Gladstone in Norfolk, Virginia, is the only surviving depiction of young Helen, done in the period where she named the iconic board. Wow. Pretty cool, huh? So, the first Ouija board was manufactured in Baltimore, Maryland. Then, as soon as 1892, the Kennard Novelty Company and the Ouija board were both going through growing pains. Colonel Washington Bowie moved the company from 220 South Charles Street to 909 East Pratt Street. The company was also in the midst of a name change from the Kennard Novelty Company to the Ouija Novelty Company. This newer board seemed to use the same stencil. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm reading over stuff. I'll edit this out. The Ouija Novelty Company moved to 20 North High Street in 1893 and remained there until 1898, where they handed over the production of the Ouija board to William Fuld, who in turn bought his brother Isaac, trading as Isaac Fuld and Brother to manufacture and sell Ouija boards from a term of 3 years. They would work together until 1901. After William and Isaac Fuld's falling out in 1901, Isaac continued to make Ouija boards though he denied doing so in court. He kept a few stencils from Isaac Fuld and Brothers and used them to make Ouija boards until his brother William received a court order against Isaac from making any of his trademarked or patented games. Since William had an exclusive agreement with the Ouija Novelty Company to manufacture those boards, Isaac made these boards for less than a year. Stamped on the label of the back of the board, it reads Isaac Fuld, 1390 Elsnore Street, Baltimore, Maryland. Besides this stamp, they are impossible to tell apart from William's boards at the time. Once Isaac Fuld and Brother officially dissolved, he started his own company named William Fuld Manufacturing Company. He promptly sent out letters to all of his customers informing them that he was the sole successor of the previous business, effectively shutting down his brother Isaac down. William began his sole business at his home of 1208 Federal Street in 1901. Without the stencils of his former business, he had to have new ones created. The Ouija crest on his board had 3 bars under the word Ouija. Besides the crest, the design and construction are the same before. Bird's eye maple veneer over pine. The label on the back simply states the directions. Manufactured in 1901 and 1903. William's Ouija business was booming, and he was forced to move again to 1306 North Central Avenue. He was still selling so many Ouija boards that he expanded again in 1907 and opened his factory and showrooms at 331 North Gay Street. Ouija boards would be continued to be made this way through 1910. The Ouija crest shown on this board tells us there was yet another stencil being used. Though there are still 3 bars under the word Ouija, there are different sizes on this than the previous board. However, all boards use the 2-line crest from the same period. Other than that, the board remains the same. In 1910, space opened up right near William's home. He bought 1226 and 1228 North Central Avenue, and again moved his factory and showrooms. The Ouija board will remain being manufactured at this address until 1919. We would open the biggest Ouija factory yet. One of the boards sports 2-bar Ouija crest, and the label on the back reads WM Fold, 1306 North Central Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland. Factory and showrooms 1226, 1228 North Central Avenue. Other than that, the label, design, and the address and the 2-bar Ouija crest, this board is very similar to the previous boards. William Fold filed another trademark on the word Ouija on February 20th, 1923 to reflect the changes that he made to the previous designs, updating them. The board itself are still made of veneer over pine. The lacquer is a light yellow color, and the color is a bit thicker. The early boards of this type did not list made by William Fold, Baltimore, Maryland on the bottom. Some listed William as WM. The early boards had the directions pasted on the back, which later boards had the directions stamped onto them. The planchette that accompanied these boards still carried the old stenciled Ouija crest, though the legs on them varied in size. So you're probably wondering, when did the Ouija board get its now iconic design? And what happened to William Fold? Well, sadly, on February 24th, 1927, while overseeing the replacement of the flagpole, William Fold tragically was killed by complications from falling from the roof of his 3-story Hartford, Lamont, and Federal Street factory. The iron support he was leaning on gave way, and he tumbled backwards off the roof, grasping and catching one of the factory windows, then falling to the ground. He suffered a contusion of the brain, 5 fractured ribs, a broken arm, a fractured leg, and numerous cuts and bruises. An employee who witnessed the fall picked him up and rushed him to the hospital, where he later died from one of his broken ribs pierced in his heart. Laying on his deathbed, he made his children promise they would never sell the Ouija board. Unfortunately for them, they continued selling them. The business was taken over by his child and headed by William A. Fold. Due to the age and recurring health of the problems of William Andrew, the entire business and the Ouija board were sold to Parker Brothers on February 24th, 1966. It was the 39th anniversary of William Fold's death. So that's when Parker Brothers took it over. the iconic design that everybody noticed on them came around the 1930s, early 40s, because I have a board that supposedly was set in 1944 on it. And a lot of them were still made on pretty hard wood. It wasn't until like the late 30s, early 50s. No, it wasn't that. It was in the 60s is when they started making the masonite boards, where they have the decal slapped on, and then the back is like the same material as a clipboard. And Parker Brothers has been manufacturing ever since then. And then once Hasbro took it over, Hasbro's been producing them, and they keep making them. They even have a new design. They made new designs based off of TV show Stranger Things. They made a retro one looking like the original William Fold one. I do have a William Fold board. That was the one I was talking about that was made in the 40s. The other Ouija boards I have say they were manufactured in Salem, Massachusetts. That was the Parker Brothers one, because Parker Brothers was located in Salem, Massachusetts at that time. So, you're probably wondering, when did the Ouija board get a bad rep? It was pretty much during its beginning. A lot of Christians said it was a form of divination. They were saying it's far from harmless, and people were worried about people contacting demons in it. If it wasn't for the fact that The Exorcist came out and had a character talking with a Ouija board, it wouldn't have gotten its infamy like that. And there's also many movies that are about the Ouija board as well. Supposedly Aleister Crowley had great admiration of the Ouija board. It was in books. Childhood's End. Good movie series, good book. Definitely recommend you read it. They used it in The West Wing. But scientists would consider the use of the Ouija board as a result of the ideomotor response. And I'm not going to go into that. You can look that up yourself. Sorry, not sorry. So that is pretty much it about the Ouija board. If anybody is interested, I have extra Ouija boards myself. If anybody wants to get one from me, I will post something on my personal Facebook page, and you can enter in to get a Ouija board if you want one. If not, I really don't care. Sorry. Okay, that's it about the Ouija board. So now let's talk into the rise of Skywalker. Don't get me wrong, it was a good movie, but there's just stuff that needs to be discussed about that movie. I'm pretty sure all of you have seen it by now, but I will give you a brief summary of what goes on. So anyways, the movie begins with everybody in the whole entire galaxy hearing a message by Emperor Palpatine, who everybody thought is dead at this time. Kylo Ren, who was scared of Palpatine threatening his power, goes to an uncharted planet and finds Palpatine, who reveals that he created Snoke as a puppet to control the First Order and lure Kylo Ren into the dark side. He then persuades Kylo Ren to join him and to find and kill Rey, who is continuing her Jedi training under Leia Organa at Ajan Kloss. Finn and Poe deliver intel from a spy that Palpatine is on Exegol, which is a Sith planet, besides Korriban or Morriban, whatever you wish to call it. Rey has learned from Luke Skywalker's notes that a Sith Wayfinder can lead them there. So pretty much Rey, Finn and Poe, Chewbacca, BB-8, and C-3PO get in the Millennium Falcon and go to Pisana, where Luke's search for Exegol ended. They meet up with my favorite character, Lando Calrissian. He's awesome, by the way. Actually, Luke is my favorite character, but Lando's amazing. I love that character. I love Lando. Badass guy. Yeah, I could go on about how much Lando is such a cool guy and just the best dressed guy ever. Oh. Sounds like I have a crush on him. I don't. Anyways, Lando tells them where the Wayfinder's last suspected location is. Kylo then learns where Rey is by their Force bond and travels there with his Knights of Ren. Rey and the others discover the remains of a Jedi hunter named Ochi. His ship and its dagger are described with ancient Sith text, which C-3PO's programming forbids him for interpreting. That sucks for C-3PO, because I'd love to have a droid that can talk in Sith. Anyways, sensing that Kylo's nearby, Rey goes to confront him. The First Order captures the Falcon, Chewbacca, and the dagger. And in an attempt to save Chewbacca's life, Rey accidentally destroys the First Order transport with Force Lightning. Ooh, I wonder who else does Force Lightning. Oh, gee, I wonder if she's Count Dooku's granddaughter. I'm pretty sure you already know who her grandfather is. So Poe then suggests that they travel to Kimji to have the Sith text extracted from C-3PO's memory. The process reveals the coordinates to the Wayfinder. Rey senses that Chewbacca is alive and the group mounts a rescue mission. While Kylo searches for Rey, the group infiltrates the Star Destroyer with the help of Zori Bliss, an acquaintance of Poe, more like a former crush. Rey recovers the dagger and has visions of her parents being killed with it. Kylo informs her that she is dun 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 Palpatine's granddaughter. I think it would have been badass if she was Count Dooku's granddaughter, but that's my opinion. Or was I? Oh yes, Palpatine's granddaughter. The Sith Lord had ordered Ochi to recover Rey as a child, but her parents hid her on Jakku to protect her. General Hux. Sensing Leia's death, Rey heals Kylo and takes his ship to exile on Ahch-To. There, Luke's Force spirit encourages Rey to face Palpatine and gives her Leia's lightsaber. Rey leaves for Exegol and Luke's X-Wing fighter, another nod to Rey being equivalent to Skywalker, using the Wayfinder from Kylo's ship. Meanwhile, Kylo converses with the memory of his father, Han Solo. Probably the best part of my movie, in my opinion. He throws away his old lightsaber and reclaims his identity as Ben Solo, and never talks the rest of the movie. Yeah, that's right. He has no lines in the movie as Ben Solo. All of his lines in the movie are as Kylo Ren. Kind of my little ticked off point, but I guess there's a reason for that, but it doesn't make sense to me. Upon the group returning to Resistance base, R2-D2 receives a signal from Rey. The Resistance follows Rey's coordinates to Exegol, where she confronts Palpatine. He demands she kills him to transfer his spirit into her. And pretty much become Empress Palpatine. Not gonna lie, my Dark family, I would have totally took that deal. But I would have kicked Palpatine's Force Ghost ass and made sure he never possessed me. Sorry, that's my draconic energy talking here. Lando bringing reinforcements from across the galaxy to join the battle. Ben overpowers the Knights of Ren and joins Rey, but Palpatine drains the pair's power to rejuvenate himself. He attacks the Resistance fleet with Force Lightning and incapacitates Ben. You kind of see where this is all sounding like the comic book Dark Empire here, but in my opinion, this is my opinion, by the way, I think the Force Lightning scene should have been the Force wormhole like in the comic book series. That would have been so cool, seeing those ships being sucked into that wormhole. And then I think the Resistance wouldn't have had a chance. They would have been like, oh, we're screwed. We're done. Last Order remains. Or is it the Final Order? I think they're called the Final Order. Which I kind of admit is kind of funny. I wouldn't see Palpatine calling it that. I would have seen him calling him the Ultimate Order or like the new Sith Empire or something like that. So anyways, weakened, Rey hears the voice of past Jedi who lend her strength. Palpatine attacks her with his lightning, but Rey deflects it using the Skywalker lightsabers, killing himself. Like his flesh and everything was peeling back. Oh god, that was sick. Up. And then Rey died. Ben revives Rey by transferring his life force into her. Rey kisses Ben before he dies. Oh my gosh, Reylo's canon. Don't really care. I don't like shipping at all. I should apologize and say that I am a hypocrite because I ship Lynette Bishop and Yoshika Miyafuji in Strike Witches. I'm sorry, they're an awesome couple. And they're really cute together. So don't judge me. You can, I really don't care. The Resistance destroys the remainder of Palpatine's armada, and people across the galaxy rise up against the First Order. As the Resistance celebrates, Rey visits Luke's abandoned childhood home on Tatooine and buries the Skywalker lightsabers, having built her own. A passerby asks her name. As the spirits of Luke and Leia watch, she replies, Rey Skywalker. And that's how the movie ends. Oh, and did I mention that Palpatine's armada had all the ships had planet-killing weapons on it? Yeah, that's right. They all had planet-killing weapons on it. Kind of reminds me of... Oh, God. Do the Eclipse have a power source like that? I'm not really sure. But anyways, in my opinion, I've only seen the movie once. And I thought it was good. I still think it's good. There's a lot of people that are on the fence of it. The soundtrack was amazing, by the way. I bought it. There's rumors that there's multiple cuts of the movie. Let's see here. Review aggregator Rotten Tomatoes has reported an audience approval rating of 53% based on 461 reviews, with an average rating of 6.18 out of 10. At least that's what Wikipedia says. I'm going to take a look at that again to see if it's still accurate. The website's critic consensus reads, Star Wars Rise of Skywalker suffers from a frustrating lack of imagination, but concludes his beloved saga with fan-focused devotion. Pretty much just saying there's no really good story, it's all just fan service. There was a lot of fan service, by the way, I'm not going to lie. We're taking a look here. Audience score is 86%. The critic score is 53%. Not surprised. But the top box office right now is $34.5 million for that. However, it sounds like 1917, which I really want to go see because I want to see a World War I movie so bad, has finally dethroned The Rise of Skywalker. But look on the bright side, Rise of Skywalker. You're not Cats. That's a 21% tomato reading. And, abysmal audience score, 53%. Like I said, Rise of Skywalker, at least you don't have that low of a score. So anyways, what do I like about the movie and what do I not like about the movie? Well, the one thing I like about the movie, we're at 36 minutes already. I'll probably have to cut the rest of that in for post. But what I like about the movie, the soundtrack was good. There's a lot of good fan service. Kylo Ren had a pretty good development arc. I wish Rey had the same, but I'm going to take it as it is. Don't get me wrong, I like Rey, but I wish she had more of a three-dimensional story as a writer myself, saying that. What did I not like about the movie? Disney in general. I'm sorry. At least what I heard, J.J. Abrams was not very happy with his cut. It wasn't his cut. It was supposedly Bob Iger's cut. And then George Lucas supposedly helped on the movie, but it sounds like none of his ideas were used yet again. I really don't want to give this movie a really bad rating because then I'll sound just like all the haters in the Phantom Menace, and I don't want to sound like that. Rose Tico had barely any screen time. Not surprised because of the backlash of her. I do like her character, but like I said, they need to develop these characters a little bit better. The only one who was more three-dimensional than Kylo Ren, in my opinion, was Poe. And maybe Finn. That's it. The whole Lando's daughter being kidnapped by the First Order thing got cut on the floor. There's supposed to be Force ghosts appearing at the end. None of them did. Except Luke and Leia. They did address how Leia got her Force powers, which I really didn't need that. I already knew she had abilities. And everybody's complaining about that scene in Last Jedi of how she was doing that. I mean, come on, she's a Skywalker. I mean, she's going to know how to do the Force and stuff like that. They mentioned Holdo once in the movie, which is interesting. I think some parts in the movie were pretty much retconning stuff that Rian Johnson did, which a lot of fans were outraged about Rian Johnson. That's why he made Knives Out, in a way. Oh, I'm kind of glad the Skywalker saga's over. Didn't actually think I was going to live to see this happen, but pretty cool. I hope the new EU is as good as the old one, because honestly, I love the EU better than the original stuff that Disney has. Oh, and by the way, have you heard that Disney is now replacing the timeline? It's not going to be before the Battle of Yavin. It's now going to be before Starkiller Base and after Starkiller Base. No, thank you. I am not using that. I'm sorry. I'm not going to bow down to you saying, oh, well, we control the history now, so you have to follow the history. Nope. Sorry. Hate me if you want, but I don't care. Anyways, now we are getting to the 40-minute mark. I would like to thank you all for listening to this podcast. And I do apologize if some of the Disney stuff and Rise of Skywalker things kind of made you upset. I'm not trying to make you upset. I'm just saying that's my personal opinion on stuff. I mean, there was some actors and actresses that got harassed on social media. I do not condone that. I do not at all. In my opinion, if you want to hate on the character, go right ahead, but do not hate on the person that's portraying the character, because they tried their best, okay? It's not their fault that they had poorly written lines or whatever. So, yeah, and that's about it for that. Oh, and I want to do one more shameless little plug before I go. I will now be, if any of you are interested in seeing me there, you'll have to book an appointment. I do have there will be rates up on their site about how much I'm offering my services for, and I will be doing card readings, but I won't be doing them for free and stuff like that. I will be doing healings and then giving a free reading at my business, which is Dragonmoon. So, anyways, I'm wrapping this up. I'm getting kind of tired and hungry, and I'm going to have to cross over into the physical realm in order to get myself some food. So, I bid you farewell, and I hope you all have a pleasant whatever time it is. The intro music is called The Great Unknown by Audionautics, and the outro music is called Zombie Hoodoo by Kevin MacLeod.